You have to be really intentional about putting a team together.
I was in!
Crawled out of the pile and started screaming.
How good is Joey Bosa?
Herbert, rolling, looking, throwing, end zone, touchdown, intercepted. Derwin was there.
You got to be on a mission every day in the NFL. But even more than that, you got to be on a mission together.
Great hands, Keenan Allen.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater.
Asante Samuel Jr. Stop. Oh, I'm stopping y'all boys. That's what I'm saying. Intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. Explosiveness from Eckler. There's Murphy. Boy, he blew that up, didn't he? It is picked off. Nasir Adderley. 50-50 ball is 100%. Mike Williams.
Ochena Nwosu. And that will end it.
Time to bolt up.
Welcome to another episode of Chargers Unleashed. Dan Wolkenstein and Jake Hefner here with you from the LAFB Network. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter at LAC_Unleashed. If you're looking for year-round Chargers content, maybe some special guest episodes and some fun and authentic perspective on this team, be sure to subscribe to Chargers Unleashed on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast. This episode is brought to you by Brewery X, UFC Fit in Temecula, Charger Bolt Family, and Manscaped. Be sure to use the code LAFB20 to save 20% and get free shipping at manscaped.com. Woo! If this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you for checking us out. We have an amazing show again lined up for you today as we have a special guest in the house. Folks, get ready for this. We have the pride of Lakeland, Florida, former Stetson Hatter. His first NFL reception was a 19-yard touchdown from Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. Celebrated his birthday just a few days ago. Just wrapped up day one of the joint scrimmage with the 49ers. We're number 89 of your Los Angeles Chargers. Donald Parham, thank you so much for joining the show. Happy belated birthday. How are you? How are the family doing?
Shoot, we're great. We're living large, and enjoying our time together as well as, making the best of what we have. So we're doing good.
Yeah. How was the birthday? What did you guys do to celebrate?
We just kind of hung out. Didn't really want to, get around too much, because COVID's still very much a thing. But, we just spend a lot of quality time together and made sure that we were, just enjoying ourselves, enjoying each other's company.
Yep. So this is your Kobe year. Any major goals you want to accomplish in your Kobe year?
Just having a breakout season, honestly, and, making sure that I put my name out there as, one of the top guys in the league, and, just doing the best I possibly can every week.
Love that. Let's do it. All right. Well, so we're going to get into all kinds of fun stuff here on Chargers Unleashed with Donald Parham. We're going to talk about maybe his journey to the Chargers, the tight end group as a whole, your development and the improvements this offseason specifically, maybe some new scheme that we're seeing, some of the coaching stuff we're seeing, and maybe some rapid fire questions to help get to know you a little bit. But let's start with the noise out of Jack Hammett as of hot off the press today. You joined practice with the Niners. Saw you get in action today with some chunk plays. Even got a touchdown, it looked like. Herbert's looking crisp. Asante's getting the pick. How would you say joint practice went today with the Niners? What are some of your kind of main takeaways from today?
We definitely brought a lot of energy. And, we tried to really initiate, the physicality today, making sure that we were making the plays that we needed to. And, it was overall just fun. It really felt like, a fun day. And, it was longer for us, but it was just like, man, the energy was way up today.
What was a highlight for you today?
Probably my touchdown, yeah.
Let's go. There we go.
Yeah, man. I think I went to like 50.
50?
Yeah.
Now, was that a catch and run, or how'd you do it?
Catch and run. Mm-hmm.
There we go. And you're actually gaining speed against folks, huh?
Yeah, trying to at least.
All right, so every player's road to the NFL is different. Yeah, your journey in the NFL and to this Chargers team came via the XFL after you spent some time with Washington football team and the Lions. Then you played with the Renegades for a hot minute before signing with the Chargers. Talk to us about kind of your journey to where you are today, and like, how do you feel it gave you any sort of lessons that you're kind of taking with you that you've been able to kind of bring to the table?
Definitely just, it brought, to my point of view, it brought to me like I needed to, always exert that extra step every day and making sure that I'm putting good stuff on tape and making sure that people, when they see me play, that I'm trying to dominate my opponents. And so I just feel like that was one of the things that I really had to hone in on as I came from Stetson, a smaller school. Didn't get drafted, was kind of bouncing around in a lot of places, did the XFL thing. So it was just kind of like a main focal point for me to make sure that I always put my best foot forward and putting good stuff on tape and exerting myself in terms of playing the game.
Got it. Now, fun fact for those who do not know, Stetson Hatter's Dolphins kicker Ray Finkel also comes from your school. And folks who have seen that show or that movie, you know what I'm talking about. You guys got some stars coming out of that small school.
Yeah.
We've heard some things after the last season, kind of about like you were a little frustrated with how you ended the season and kind of wanted to come in, put into work. Like, what was kind of the thing that you have put in most during this offseason or during training camp that you were kind of frustrated about that you wanted to kind of fix moving forward?
My overall speed, just the level of speed I played the game, making sure that, my first couple steps are always just, as fast with intent and just making sure that I was playing just overall faster, trying to catch up to the speed of the game and then exceed the speed of the game, just making sure that I was just faster all around, blocking and route running.
Going from the practice squad in the NFL, then over to XFL, and now like playing live games, like is the speed like that different?
It really is, and you don't really notice it until you start playing in it, and so it's just like it's like a wake up call. If you're a little step slow, you'll definitely see it. So that was just my main focal point for this past off season.
Got it. All right, we'll talk about that in a second here, but you have a bunch of new coaches, which we're going to get into. What are your impressions of kind of Joe Lombardi and his offense and scheme so far? Like, what have you seen in terms of changes, maybe to like the tight end role or your role specifically, now they got the new coaching staff and new scheme?
Yeah, he's definitely schemed us into the, offense like as a main focal point in terms of pass game. He's making sure that, we have the idea in ourselves that, we're going to make some plays and we're going to get open. We have to get open, use physicality, speed, all that. And making sure that, we're always coming to work every day and making sure that we have a plan in our minds that we're going to get better and that we are like the backbone for our system right now. And Joe Lombardi's, his system is like really picking the defense apart. And it's really fun, honestly, as a tight end. You get to get in those voids and, catch passes all the time. So it's a really fun system for us.
It's certainly making you good. And be honest here. Last year, under the old coaching regime, we're not going to mention any players. We're not going to call anybody out here. But it seemed as though, at least from the outside looking in, that there is way more kind of down the field action and way more kind of playmaking available for, let's just call it the tight end group as a whole, compared to what we've seen in the past. Would you agree? Like, what have you seen as kind of the difference in what we're seeing from you guys now versus last year?
Yeah, we have a lot more access to, different routes. It felt like we were kind of limited last year in terms of, how far down the field we were going to be, making plays. But this year for sure, he's opening us up and making sure that we're, available down the field, 5 yards up the field, everywhere. So definitely going to be fun this year.
I can't wait. And we're seeing you and Jared Cook, you guys are out like down 20 yards. I mean, we're seeing both in camp and during kind of the preseason game, like you're making plays down the field and getting the ball in space way more than you did last year or than anybody did on this Chargers team in a few years. You've mentioned specifically previously, you worked a ton this offseason on like your lower body to improve like your route running, and you just mentioned kind of your speed. What sort of differences do you think fans or opposing teams like will see in your game physically or athletically specifically like this year, given the work you put in?
Just my ability to stretch the field and get into my route faster, in and out of my route faster, and ability to catch the ball up high, down low, all that. So it's definitely going to be fun this year to see.
Sweet. Now, have you already prepared your dancing celebrations when you catch your first touchdown this season?
Oh yeah, I got a little something in store for y'all.
Are you gonna share? Are you gonna share, or are we gonna wait?
No, we gonna hold it to the first. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We are talking to Donald Parham, number 89, and your tight end of your Los Angeles Chargers here on Chargers Unleashed. Now, Donald, one of the themes we've heard from coaches and players alike is they're all about kind of finding and exploiting mismatches. You kind of talked about it a bit ago with Lombardi. And it feels like on this offense specifically, there are mismatches like all over this offense. You got you, Mike, Keenan, T. Billy, Cook, Eckler. I mean, like, what is it like as an offense just knowing, like, on any play, there are multiple mismatches and any one of you can kind of get the ball?
It's really just like you have to make sure that, you know, you don't get overwhelmed with the task at hand, and making sure that when you know you have that one mismatch that, you know, you've been waiting for the whole game, you have to exploit it and make the play. That's basically, you know, all that he's instilled in us, and, you know, making sure that we're just making our plays.
Now, we've talked and we've heard a lot from Brandon Staley about like team identity, and we've heard some of the all-in kind of teasers and like how intense and how focused everyone seems to be this year. Lots of talk about team identity. Focusing on kind of the tight end group specifically, you got yourself, Jared Cook, Trey McKitty, Steven Anderson, the whole group. What does tight end coach Kevin Kroger, or maybe yourself personally, like, what do you want or think the identity of your group is going to actually be?
That we're a physical and fast group of guys, you know, making sure he makes sure that we come to practice every day, work hard, so that when game time is easy. And, you know, we have the ability to stretch the field and also as well handle the line of scrimmage. And so he's definitely, you know, making sure that we getting a best of both worlds in that aspect.
I heard you touch on the word fun. It seems as though, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seems as though this team overall is having way more fun this year than, let's just call it, past years.
Yeah,
why or how is a team like having so much more fun with Staley or with the entire group? Like, what is some of the reasons for that?
Coach Staley just brings so much energy to our team, and, you know, especially having the guys that were, you know, hurt last year and having them come back, you know, bring their energy and leadership. It's just like we just feel like a well-oiled machine. And so, you know, we just have fun every day. You know, we feel like we can bounce, you know, energies off of each other and making sure that we're making each other better. And so it's just overall fun to see like the possibilities that we have this year.
As a player or as a person covering the team or just as a fan, like, that's so refreshing to hear, where like it didn't seem like a lot of players were having that much fun last year, and like that shows up. And as much as you want to, you know, think that you're going to play hard every single down for yourselves and your brothers, like, it's hard when you're not enjoying it. And so it looks so refreshing for everyone. And so you can see it kind of permeating through. So love to hear that. In terms of fun, putting on a spot here for a second, what's the funniest moment of training camp so far for you?
Funniest moment? Dang, I was not expecting that one at all.
When Keenan Allen had that route in the end zone and you hear him going, wow, to everyone.
Oh,
I was dying. I heard some of those mic'd up moments were funny, but like behind the scenes.
I think, honestly, the funniest thing probably would be anytime T. Billy makes a play. It's just, man, it's energy. It's just, you just feel it. It's just like, man, you know he's going to let you know he made that play. I feel like that's the funniest thing that happens every time. So just watch T. Billy if you want some entertainment.
We actually had him on the show recently, and he was saying like, oh yeah, like I bring the juice. And I think me bringing the juice brings juice to everybody. I feel like that's what he said.
Absolutely.
So he's such a fun player to watch too, and glad that he's healthy, back out there catching bombs. I think he caught another touchdown today, deep, didn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Guys making plays. All right, so much excitement and buy-in from the coaching staff, whether it's Staley or Lombardi or Kevin Kroger. Like, personally, them to you, like, how have they impacted your life or your game personally? And like, what are some of the lessons that they taught you?
You know, making sure that I have my head on straight every day when I come out. You know, I come out to work, you know, to get better every day. And then they also, you know, kind of reassure me that, you know, when I might have a down day, you know, they might see it and then be like, hey, you know, take a minute, you know, take a breath, just, you know, do what you do, you know, and they really believe in me, and that's the big thing for me. And, it makes me want to play better for them. And so, it's really a good thing when you have that kind of, support system behind you, that someone believes in you.
Oh yeah, and you hear a lot of noise outside of camp, and I know like you guys seem to do really really well with like keeping things in house, and you hear a lot of folks talking about like, oh, who's going to get more reps? Is it going to be Jared Cook, or is it going to be Donald Parham, or is it going to be McKee? Like who knows? How do you kind of see, or how do you assess just like what your role is going to be with this team within the tight end group? Like, is it a thing?
You really don't think of it. Well, from my point of view, I don't really think of it as like, oh, what's my role going to be? It's just more so they call my name, I'm here. You know what I mean? So it's not really anything like, oh, I want to be number one, or I think I'm number two, or something like that. It's just, you call my name, I'm ready, just ready to make the play.
You being 6'8", and I swear you are taller than 6'8". I've seen you at practice, and you are towering over everyone. When is the last time you were not the tallest player on the field?
Never. Probably never. Honestly. Yeah.
What year or like what time of your life did you have your like crazy growth spurt?
Oh, it was between my second and third year of high school. I grew probably like 5-6 inches that summer. Yeah.
Your mom is like, who are you?
Yeah. You're right.
So I know Justin Herbert loves the fact that you are this tall and such a mismatch, and you can kind of haul it from anywhere. There's been talk about kind of your chemistry getting better and better with Justin Herbert. What is it like playing with Justin Herbert? What have you seen from him kind of progressing year to year? And just kind of talk to us about your relationship with him.
It's definitely an exciting relationship, because you can see the trust in when he, throws me the ball. Like he trusts me to make the play, and I appreciate that from him. And it's really been exciting to just see him play overall, because he's making some throws that's just like, there's no way that should have been made, but he makes them. And so it's just a really exciting person to play with. And he's growing every day as a leader. You love his energy, and he comes to work every day ready to work. He puts his best foot forward, so it's just really exciting.
I love hearing that. All right, so let's get to know you a little bit outside of football. We're gonna learn about you outside. We'll do some rapid fire questions. We'll get you out of here.
Gotcha.
All right, so everyone knows Donald Parham on the field. You're catching balls crazy high, making athletic plays, but like, let's learn about you off the field. Like, what's your life like outside of football? Like, what are you into? What kind of food? Like, what's your day in the life of an off day for you? Like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm a big video game guy, so anytime I can get on the game, I'm on Warzone, just regular Call of Duty multiplayer, 2K, Apex. I'm into Apex right now. And I really just, like, for food-wise, I'm big on barbecue. I love barbecue. From the down south, man. I'm just a big barbecue guy. I'm trying to get into, healthier stuff, because, I guess it's not technically good for me. So I'm just taking it day by day, trying to transition to healthy, but I can't resist any barbecue.
And I think I saw you like sporting like some fashion sense. Like you got your fashion game on point lately.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I got to thank my girlfriend for that. She's definitely my little pocket stylist right now.
Shout out.
Yeah, she's definitely getting me right now. So she definitely helping me in that aspect.
Love it. All right, so let's do some rapid fire questions. You ready? I'll put you on the hot seat, and we'll get some sweat on the brow for a couple minutes. You ready?
Gotcha.
All right. Worst food?
Sushi.
You don't like sushi?
No shot. I can't do it.
Okay. Best dressed on the team?
Probably be Mike Dub.
Mike Williams, even without the hair.
Yeah, he's got it.
If you could sit down with someone, celebrity or athlete, for one dinner, who would it be and why?
Kobe, because I feel like he's just such an inspiration, and his work ethic is just like permeable. Like you can just feel it off of him. It radiates off of him, and I just feel like it would have been a great honor to just sit down and, talk ball, talk strategy, just talk, life in general, and just get his overall, sense of how he portrays himself, as well as how, he approaches his work, like how well he just dominates the game. So it was that would be the biggest person I would want to sit down and talk to.
Soaking in that Mamba mentality. Like, I think everyone, it's one of those things where you don't appreciate it until you don't have it anymore. And what that man brought, not just to sports, but just to whether it's like mentality or entrepreneurship or just like the way of living and seizing the day. Like, if you haven't heard some or read some of his books, like, man, you guys got to get up on that.
Yeah,
all right, so we've heard all the hype. We've heard all the hype about like Derwin James. We've heard about Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen. Who would you say is the most underrated player on this team, or a few?
Underrated.
Like, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. You're like, man, if they only knew.
Shoot, have to be. I feel like Drue Tranquill. I don't think he really gets a whole lot. He's probably one of the hardest working people that I've seen in a while, and he just doesn't quite. I don't think he quite gets the recognition that he probably deserves. So yeah,
Drue Tranquill, man, that guy is a beast. So we're so excited to see him finally back out in pads.
For sure.
All right, last question for you: best catch or play you have seen so far during camp?
During camp
or preseason, either one.
Trying to think. Probably that route Keenan had in the back of the end zone, where he was like, "Oh wow!" Like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I did see one. I don't know if it was you or if it was Jared. There was Justin Herbert threw what he didn't catch it. Whoever it was didn't catch it, but it was like a triple coverage throw. Like, drop it in the bucket on the sidelines. And man, I was at practice that day, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I did not think that ball was even going to get there. And I mean, it was a hard catch. But I'm like, how is he throwing these? And you hear it all the time, like, coaches will say, oh, he's got to check down to whoever. And then like 3 seconds later, it's a 70-yard bomb to T-Bill. Like, have you been around players that are like that, where they just can make magic happen?
No, not really. Not like that. Especially down the field, on the move, and just straight drop back. I haven't had that, I haven't had that at all, honestly. So it was just crazy to see.
Man, that's crazy. All right, you are off the hot seat. We are officially done with rapid fire questions. You did great. For folks who do not know, Donald Parham is about to blow up this season under Joe Lombardi. Tight ends are getting all kinds of work. You guys are stretching the field like crazy. Cannot wait to see you get action. For folks who do not follow you on Instagram or on Twitter, where can folks find you when you're not balling out on Sundays or practice?
It's at JiggyDD_89, JIGGY_89.
And okay, tell the people where the name come from.
It's just like a fan of A$AP Rocky. You just kind of pick it up. It's just like a big thing he does is just being jiggy, just feeling good, looking good, just overall, just feeling yourself. Got to have the confidence.
Love it. Donald Parham, thank you so much for joining us on Chargers Unleashed. You have been awesome. It's been a pleasure. Can't wait to see you ball out this year. You're a friend of the show, and you're welcome anytime. Best of luck this upcoming game, preseason against the Niners, and can't wait to see you out there week 1.
All right, appreciate it.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater,
Asante Samuel Jr.
Stop! Oh, I'm stopping y'all boys. I can't catch me.
Intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. Explosiveness from Eckler. There's Murphy. Boy, he blew that up, didn't he? It is picked off. Nasir Adderley. 50-50 ball is 100%. Mike Williams.
Ochena Nwosu, and that will end it.
Time to bolt up.